Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Dimmitt Chevrolet in Clearwater, Florida. And guess what? I have one of those popular selling full-size SUVs. It's this vehicle right here. This is your updated refresh 2025 Chevrolet Tahoe. This particular one is the Premier trim. But before we get into this full-on, full-size SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. So, as we always like to do here on Rady's Rides, I want to bring the different trims. Yes, it's easy to get a high country and show you all the great fanciness to it, but also bring some of the other trims. And that's why I wanted to do the Premier, is because it is one of those lower trims. Now, the great news is I think you're gonna find that even though you're not getting the top trim, you're still not giving up a lot when you go with the Premier, especially at the price point. Now, in this full-size segment, there is some pretty strict competition. Not a lot of competition, but some pretty tough competition. Why don't we go ahead, let's dive into this Tahoe and see, can it compete with the Nissan Armada, which is all new for 2025? Let's go ahead, let's dive in and find out. Right off the bat, you have that familiar size, that familiar shape to it, and it is getting some tweaks. Where those tweaks begin or up front, you're getting full LED turn signals, daytime running lamps, especially the way it has that C-shaped, and LED headlights. We have functional corner air curtains, and then working our way down, even on the Premier trim, you are going to get LED fog lamps. Now, the Premier trim brings a little bit extra bling, which I know isn't everybody's taste, but that's why they have different trims, right? They're not just going to make one Tahoe for everybody. That's just not going to work. So what you're gonna find in the Premier trim is a bit of chrome styling from the front. It's not actual metal chrome, but it has that shine to it like you would find on a chrome bumper. But let me know what you think about so far the lighting, the way they changed the lighting. Now, as we come across the center, you are gonna get a forward-facing camera. Like I said, we got the vertical chrome slots, even has that, like I said, the forward-facing camera, and it even has full functionality all the way down. And as we get to the bottom, you'll see the flat black with the chrome that goes across the front. There are active shutters that open and close to let more or less air in, and there still are some different engine options that you could choose from. If you go Armada, there's just one engine, and that's it. But let me know what you think about the face of this Tahoe. Now, as we rise up, hood is the same. Big, large, aircraft carrier size hood. It's got the right indentations to give it some muscular strength to it. Coming around the bend, we got new wheels and tires. So you're gonna find these hand-polished V-spoke wheels, 20-inch wheel. Tires are gonna be 275 on the width and a 60 series sidewall. One of my favorite things about the Tahoe, no flat black. And this particular color is not black. It may look black on your phone or your TV screen, but it's actually called ash gray. And I like it. It's a great color, especially when the sun comes out. But let me know what you think about the aluminum finish. I really feel like the Premier trim sort of gives this like an FBI look. I feel like these would be the wheels that you'd find on an FBI equipped Tahoe. Coming down the side, chrome on the mirror caps. You got your LED turn signals, even 360-degree cameras. The Tahoe badge nicely placed, and you do have running boards, fixed running boards, with just a little bit of chrome along the outer edge. Up top, we have silver, almost looks like a stainless steel, but it's not. They're aluminum roof rails. The trim, the shiny bright metalwork just along the bottom, and a combo deal of color-matched and chrome on the door handles. Now, coming down the side, all of this is going to be the same as your 2024 Tahoe. Where it changes is out back. All new taillights, just like the headlights, full LED. Love the long roof spoiler. Love the fact that you don't have an exposed wiper. And what I love even more on top of all that is you're able to just open up the rear glass to get whatever you need. In the back, the Tahoe name nicely placed in the center. Just a little bit of gloss black. You even get a Premier badge so you can brag to all your friends. And then working our way down to ground level, I love the quad tip exhaust. Nice round opening slash cut. And of course, you have some really good towing capability with the new Tahoe. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see which engine out of the three this one has. All right, guys, we got that large hood open. You do have hood struts. Underneath the hood is your standard engine on the Tahoe, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a 5.3 liter naturally aspirated V8, 355 horsepower, 383 pound-feet of torque. It is bolted to a 10-speed automatic transmission. The vehicle weighs right around 5,500 pounds and can tow up to 8,300 pounds. MPGs, you're looking around 15 in the city and 20 on the highway. So nice to have the three different engines. You can even get a turbo diesel Duramax if you want. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this premier trim of the 2025 Chevrolet Tahoe. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I actually need a new full-size SUV. I refuse to drive any crossover SUV and nothing smaller than full-size. So how much is this premier trim of the Tahoe? Good question. MSRP is $79,000, the way that this one is optioned. But let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. Love all of the materials. Look at that soft touch up top with the contrast stitching. You got a nice wood finish. A little bit of carbon flash metallic, but nothing too crazy. And then down below, you got more soft touch material, contrast stitching, perforations, and you have that Twinkie holder in the center for 5 golden delicious Twinkies. And then down in the door pocket, you can get easily 2 12-inch subs, make it a cold cut trio and a cold cut combo, and you got a large bottle holder, plus you got the Bose sound system. Now going from the door panel to the dash, more of that wood finish, the perforations, the stitching, it all looks fantastic in here. You got your little nook, you could put some granola bars, maybe some Kudos. I remember Kudos bars growing up. They pretty much were like candy bars, but they were supposed to be healthy. I think I put on more weight eating Kudos bars as a kid than eating just Hershey's. Infotainment system, 17-inch. Love the way it's mounted. Full touchscreen. You got a real volume knob, which is nice. Heated seats, ventilated seats, and dual climate control. We can go into all the apps, which are great. Very easy to access, especially if you want to get into the cameras. Camera quality is spectacular. Better than the Nissan Armadas, I could tell you that. You could bring up all your climate readouts, all those goodies. So easy, very nice to use. And then we're right back where we started. Down below, you got real physical analog controls for your dual climate, your blower fan, wireless charging, a place for a bubblegum cigar, USB-A, USB-C, 2 cup holders, some carbon flash metallic, and then there's your Chevy key fob. How do I know? Because it says it has a Chevy bow tie on it, and you have remote start. Love the soft material, the stitching. Open this up, you have enough room in there to where you could put 2 tackle boxes. No, not 2 tackle boxes for fishing, but 2 Long John Silver's tackle boxes. Steven's favorite, the Hush Puppies. He always takes my Hush Puppies anytime there's Hush Puppies to be taken. He always takes them. What's cool is that you do have that power slider, so you can slide this back, and you could put a Nerf football, especially if you like throwing them at your kids, peg them right in the face. Or you even have this secret compartment where you could hide some jewelry that you bought for yourself that you didn't want anybody to know about. It's one of those things, you got to treat yourself, right? If you can't treat yourself, how are you going to treat others? Steven's a firm believer in that. And then we have that power assist, bringing it back. Nice. Seats, the leather, the piping, the stitching, full electric assist for the passenger, full electric assist for the driver up top. No sunroof. 79 grand, I was surprised there's no sunroof. That kind of bums me out. That is a zonk. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the leather wrap steering wheel in this Tahoe. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings, and there's those power seat controls. Easy to get to. Don't forget we have the Chevrolet sill plate down there that looks good. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room in a Tahoe. Steering wheel, the leather, flat black on the switchgear. It does have a heated steering wheel. You do have paddles to go up and down, the 10-speed automatic. It is a power tilting and telescoping wheel. You have your mode controller, and then all the other switchgear, easy to get to. And then, of course, we have that 11-inch digital gauge cluster. And what's nice about that is I can scroll through a ton of information here very, very easily. Look at that. Look how nice and easy that is to scroll through. But other than that, very well organized technology-wise. Let's get into the mid-row and the third row because I want to take you for a ride in this Tahoe. All right, guys, mid-row and third row time. What I love about the Tahoe, they do seats right. Just like KFC does chicken right, so does Tahoe with their seats, the piping, the stitching. Look at this freaking armrest. It's so meaty. It's like as thick as the steak that Steven ate last night, the T-bone. Now, backs of the seats, that leather all the way around, large pockets. You could put probably 2 New York sirloin strips back here. And then you got a nice command center, 2 cup holders. You got your digital readouts for your AC controls. Heated seats, no ventilated seats, USB-C, and a home power source down below. And then, of course, the seats. This is where it's at. They slide. They recline. Plus, I want to show you how you get room to go in the back. So let me put this up. Pull that down. Boop. Look at that. Slide into place here. Move the headrest out of my head. And then this is how it's supposed to be when you sit in the third row. Very comfortable. We got AC vents, USB-Cs, seats. Even the seats are the same material, which is great in the third row. But why don't we get into the cargo area because I want to take you for a ride in this Tahoe. All right, guys, cargo area time. Hit the button. Nice electric assist comes up very quickly. You're going to be greeted to 26 cubic feet of space with that third row up. It is a 60-40 split on the folding. You do have a home power source, which is great. Plus, look at this. Look how easy it is. Boop. Boop. All of that room. Now, with the third row down, how much room do you have? You're looking at 73 cubic feet of space. Fold down the mid row, you're looking at 123 cubic feet of space. So very stout for what the Tahoe is bringing. And then, of course, to bring the seats back up, look how easy that is. Oh, anybody could do it. I promise you that. And then you hit that button, closes up. If you're ready, I'm ready. We got all the doors closed. Let's go on throttle in this Tahoe. All right, guys, we're leaving Dimmitt Chevrolet. We're in this 2025 Chevy Tahoe. And right away, even though you have the 5.3 liter V8 over the 6.2, you're still gonna get plenty of grunt. Plenty of that great V8 sound. Seats are so comfortable. They did a good job upgrading the materials, upgrading the seat quality to where they actually are comfy rather than just sitting on basically like a wooden plank. Always great visibility out the front of a Tahoe. Getting to that 17.7-inch infotainment system, it's well within reach. And I like the fact that you could pull up. You can literally pull up the cameras while you're driving at speed. To me, that makes so much sense, especially so that you can look out the back and have a blind spot camera. I mean, that just makes so much sense. The 10-speed actually shifts really well. You ready? On throttle. Here we go. Good V8 sound. I love the rumble, man. Love the rumble of that V8. And the 8-speed does such a great job. The sound deadening material is good. Really, really nice and overall quiet on the interior. And just everything is so well laid out in here. It feels really good. And if you've never driven a Tahoe, it's one of those things you get used to the size very quickly, and they ride small. It doesn't feel like you're driving this big, humongous SUV. Nice to have the different engine options. And I like the screen layout in here. It really makes sense. And the camera quality is just fantastic. Getting out onto the highway, same story. Just comfortable, smooth, heated seats, ventilated seats. I mean, the only thing it's missing is a sunroof, which I am gonna zonk that at $79,000. Should have a sunroof for 79 grand. But everything else just feels so good when you're behind the wheel of this Tahoe. I think they made the right changes, they made smart changes, and the fact that you have all this great storage space, the power sliding center console, plus, I don't know if you ever noticed this, watch this. You could actually pull the armrest forward, which is nice. You ready? One more time, just for you. Rear wheel drive, here we go. On throttle. Nice. Very, very meaty on that sound. Love that sound. And like I said, the 10-speed shifts like a hot knife through butter. But I'm hoping that this has been a good, quick overall review of the Tahoe. We're gonna get back to Dimmitt Chevrolet and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, so great to be here at Dimmitt Chevrolet and be able to get this premier trim of the Tahoe. We're gonna get the other ones, RST, LT. We've already done the High Country, but make sure you're here because we're gonna bring it all to you. Let me know what you think, though, about this competing against the Armada. Is the Armada the better option, or are you going with the premier trim of the Tahoe? Let me know in that comment section, but if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Stephen Flood, we got to thank Stephen Flood. One thing that Stephen Flood is kind of connected with the Tahoe is not so much the SUV, but Lake Tahoe. He actually had this girl that he was dating that lived out there, and the way that he got her attention is by swimming across the full length of Lake Tahoe. It was pretty spectacular from what I heard. But thank you, Stephen, for all that you're doing. Just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.